when you've been conditioned this way, like for so long, especially like our parents and like, you know, they're really conditioned to believe in their lifetime how things were. And, you know, this lifetime is changing, and some people aren't going to be able to change and adapt.
Testing 1 2 1 2.
This is too loud, though.
You know, you don't know where
Peter is my alter ego for my manly alter ego.
I am talking. Oh, lady, looking at me.
Doing it.
Okay, what do you want me to say?
1 2 3 4 5 6 7.
Thank you.
8.
You'd think I knew about these things.
I think it's just like the conditioned mind. Like we've been conditioned for a long time to believe that, you know, other people have to justify the way that you are, or that you look, or that you eat, or, you know what I mean? It's like monkey see, monkey do. Like everybody has to like, that's the safest way to be, is to kind of be like transparent, and you're like just blending in with everybody else. Like that way nobody points you out and nobody makes you. And I think, yeah, a lot of people do want to live that way. They want to live a little bit more like just hidden and you know, just not really trying to stand out and like speak out and be anything more, and stay in their comfort zone because that's comfortable. Like, I mean, for me, the way that I'm trying to make things better, at least, is to make myself better. So I'm trying to just get myself right and like fix, you know, like take care of like my bad habits and like things that don't make me work right, you know? So then I can be better for other people, and I feel like I really believe in like the lead by example kind of way. And I also believe in community dynamics. So I lead a band of musicians, and I'm all about community and how we can work together as a community to create music for the people. And then I also get involved in other community organizations. I work at the Mental Health Association, and even there I'm like helping them bridge with people in town in Hudson, so that like artists that are in town can also understand about the mental health, and these students, these children, these families that are, you know, going through this whole, you know, process, and they get to meet each other, you know, they get to work with each other, and that's community, that's bridging some gaps, you know.
What happened to love we shared? There was a time when we both cared. For many years, yeah, we walked one way. Now two-way crossroads lead us astray.
If you want to be free, be an artist. Like find your art, find your identity, and find your creativity, find your passion, find your fire, find your thrill, find your, you know, it's in you, let it out. It's art, you know. It's like, it's that freedom that you're longing for, you know. You might have that, and even people who have like 9 to 5s and stuff like that, and they feel like, you know, that's not going to make you feel free unless you're doing something you actually love to do. But you can still do something more than that, because you have to find your freedom. I don't know, it just allows you like to be without fear, to just be who you really are. Like, it's so important for you as an individual, but also for the community, because when you share it, you inspire other people to believe in magic. You know, you inspire other people to believe in the magic of themselves. It's like, oh, wow, that's so beautiful. Like, I wonder if I can do that. Well, go see about that wonder, because you probably can't. And like, you know what I mean? So it's like when you give it and you show it and experience it, you inspire people and you uplift spirits. Like you bring people to a high frequency. So you really affect people on like a spiritual level, on an intellectual level, like all different ways of helping people become their best without even like touching them sometimes. Like you just have to like sing or paint or record or do something and you put all this passion and love and art and creative and cosmic vibes into it, and then you share it, and then people receive that love, that passion, that cosmic, that and then it's like, oh my God, like, thank you for sharing that. You just changed my life. Like, you know, we have to find our own purpose. Like, a purpose shouldn't be given to you. You know, there's no man that's gonna come and be like, all right, you're gonna be this when you grow up. Like, this is what's gonna happen. And it's like, I know I've grown up with, you know, friends that have experienced that. Like, their parents would make them, this is what you're gonna be when you grow up. And it's like, no, you have to have the freedom to find your purpose.
You're the mean and gentle flower in my sentimental night, all night. I moan, toss about, and kiss the stars above. I kiss the local heat below. In the middle of the night, of my song, turn to you. Sentimental flower in my mean and gentle night. All night I moan, thrash about, kiss the local heat and the stars above. True to the mark, I was born from my touch. You own it.
I'm trying to communicate to people to bring out more of the cosmic perspective, more cosmic lingo, more cosmic conversations about the cosmic world. And that includes like astrology and the metaphysical world, the planets, the sun, the moon, the earth, and like the universe, the galaxies. Like, that's kind of like my whole aesthetic. And also like a lot of my songs kind of like incorporate some kind of lingo or some kind of language associated with that. So like
35 to 85 in February, no snow. Wilted leaves in the garden, summer greens won't grow. Temperatures are rising, mirage hypnotizing. Tell me what we gonna do, baby. Ooh, hey.
And that's all about like all of the climatic changes that are happening in the world, and like more natural disaster kind of events, and how this is kind of a sign of like things changing, and they're also warning signs. Something is happening and we need to like be more aware of things like climate change.
Earthquake and back-breaking soul take politicians. Water droughts filled with doubt, but what about the will of grow? It's a global warning, rising with the morning. Tell me what we gonna do, baby. Ooh, baby.
Earthquakes and forest fires and hurricanes, and like, what is this meaning? Like, is this giving us a sign? Like, we need to be more aware. This is a global warning.
I'm here to make a statement about the stupidity of denying climate change, and it's urgent. We need to do something now. It's important to live.
You know, what are we gonna do when shit really starts getting real? Like, would you wanna be ignoring everything that's happening and like, you know, focusing on your social media and like, you know, being distracted by all these things? But like, what are you actually gonna do when the planet starts to crumble? Like, when the planet starts to show that I'm fucking tired of being fucked with and manipulated and abused and raped, because that's happening to the actual planet. We're being conditioned and trained to detach ourselves from the planet, so we don't care what they do. We don't care that this phone I'm using is only because they're mining coltan in Africa, and no matter how they're doing it, I don't care because I need my phone. And it's like, there's so many ways that they're getting us, but we could still have our phone and just do it in an honest way.
I am taking historic steps to lift the restrictions on American energy, to reverse government intrusion, and to cancel job-killing regulations.
You know, Trump and his administration is taking away from people researching to actually do the right things and keep track of what we're doing, and they're just cutting the budgets for these things, and which is making us ignorant of it. And then, yeah, things are going to get more chaotic because it's like, well, I want to drill these holes and build these pipelines, and I don't want to know how it's going to affect anything, so let's stop doing research and budgeting that, and we're just going to do it, and I'll make my money, and we're just going to make it. You know, I don't care. And it's like, but that not caring is going to affect the environment, and which is going to cause more storms, more hurricanes, more tornadoes, more forest fire, more unnatural things, because it's literally the earth telling us, you better stop what you're doing.
This is what democracy looks like.
Also motivating those in attendance, the White House has proposed cutting the Environmental Protection Agency budget by 30%. And just yesterday, the president signed an executive order to expand offshore drilling for oil and gas in once protected Arctic and Atlantic waters.
It's the planet communicating with us, but we don't communicate with the planet anymore. That's back in the Native Americans and the indigenous people, they knew how to communicate with the planet and with the stars and with the sky and with all these things, but we don't communicate. And I feel like even like 100 years ago, people were still communicating with the planet more than they are now. Even 70 or 60 years ago, people were still communicating with the planet the way more than we are now.
My administration is putting an end to the war on coal.
Industry workers joined Mr. Trump for the event.
You know what it says, right? You're going back to work.
Coal mining accounts for roughly 50,000 jobs in America, down from its peak of nearly 180,000 in 1985. Automation and the availability of natural gas from hydraulic fracturing has made coal production less competitive.
And that makes me a little bit worried because, you know, not to say that religion is like good, but we need some kind of like spiritual understanding of our soul and our purpose. Like we can't just not, because that's what helps us be connected to nature too. Like when we have an alignment with our soul and like we care and we're compassionate and we're, you know, and all these things, and we're in tune with ourselves and our body and we're eating right. All that stuff makes you want to treat the planet right because you're being right to yourself. So the planet can communicate with you. It's like, okay, you care. Let me connect with you.
If something isn't done, the stakes are enormous because they're talking about more pollution that's going to put more pollution in the air, like arsenic and mercury in our water, and that affects the air our kids breathe and the water they drink.
How are we doing these things? How are we really trying to condition and grow the people to be disconnected from this planet? Like, what is the purpose of that? And power. Yeah, power and controlling our soul too, because that's our soul.
Right side, left side, right side, left side with you, baby. Oh yeah. We gon' round and round, baby. We gon' left and right. We gon' round and round, left and down, left and right. I'm in the roller coaster ride with you. Going to the west side, going to the east side, going to the side, up and down, turn around, this way, this way.
Find your soul. Find your soul. Like, own your soul. Be your soul. And that's what I would say. Like, know what a soul is and be able to, you know, if you don't, you know, if you've lost it, find it, identify with it, keep it, love it, nourish it, you know, find all kind of ways that you can keep it lifted in high frequency. And yeah, just find your soul, like, you know, because I feel like maybe in that time, there will be many who will have their soul taken away, you know, or lost. And so it's like, find your soul. Go on the journey to finding your soul.
Thank you very much for chatting with me today.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.